Hi, my name is Brian. I'm the High Pop Professor, and today I would like to talk about my plans for the National. In our last Brothers Duo episode, Conic Al and I were discussing some of these, but I thought today I would go a little bit further in depth into my specific strategy, what I'm looking to accomplish there, if much of anything from my PC, seeing as how 90 stuff is not apparently a focus of a reason why you would attend a National, according to them. But I want to also go over some of the cards I'm going to be taking with me, both as trade bait, cards I'm taking to be submitted for grading orders, and just my overall plan for what I'm trying to do here. So let's go ahead and turn the camera around and we'll talk about just that. All right, so I've got a couple things planned out here for the National. I will say, as far as what I'm looking to find there, generally some very rare Greg Maddux inserts from the 90s. As I mentioned before, though, I'm not all that optimistic that I'm going to find much of anything, but hey, you never know. If there's one place you could find it, it's going to be in that room next week. So yeah, never say never. So I am bringing with me some cash, of course. Now, it does occur to me, though, on some of those inserts, rare 90s inserts, they are not cheap. Some of the ones I am specifically targeting, namely a couple of gold refractors from the 90s. There's a 97 finest gold embossed refractor I'm looking for. And I'm also looking for a 99 finest gold refractor. In fact, there's 3 of them. I have 2 of them, and I'm just missing the one. And those 2 actually would complete my finest refractor run. So, definitely those are the 2 that are on the top of my list. But also, other rare inserts too. I would be interested in looking for some of those as well. Some autographed Diamond Kings of players I'm still missing that are very, very tough to get. Guys like Barry Bonds. Some of these impossible guys, and yeah, a couple other things kind of in that realm. Also, a couple of 90s certified on-card autographs for Greg Maddux, like a 96 Leaf signature auto would be really, really great. So I'm looking for that as well. So in the I'm not anticipating seeing a lot of this stuff there, but I do have a couple of other things that I'm looking to do when I get there. So this first stack of cards, this is not cards that I'm going to be looking to trade or to sell. That's going to be these 2 piles. So let's first go over these other cards that I have a mission for with these other cards, and we'll go from there. This is a card that I showed. This is an 85 Donruss Clemens rookie, and this was originally in a CSG9. I cracked it out, submitted it to PSA because the corners, the edges, the centering just looked so good. I thought I had a shot at a 10, and it came back, of course, an 8 because, there's one little, really tiny scratch, really tiny dent on the surface of the card. I'm not sure if you can even see it with this light, but take my word for it. Anyway, I kind of wanted to just get this reslabbed again. I wanted to talk to Dylan, Double D Vintage, and put this in one of his slabs because I'm curious to know what kind of centering grade this bad boy would get. Because I believe it's like 50-50 left-right, and top to bottom is, maybe a hair bigger on the bottom than on the top. But I'm thinking this has got to be like a 96, 98 out of 100 on his centering grading scale. So when I run into him, I got this card for him. All right, and then speaking of other cards for people, this is a Norm Duke signed 1990 Kingpins bowling card, and it turns out Cleveland's we're only going to be half an hour away from the college, town where I went to college, Oberlin, Ohio, and my bowling coach there. If he's still there, I'm actually staying with a buddy of mine in Oberlin, so I did find a place, yay. And I might give it to him to give to my bowling coach, but he was always a big fan of Norm Duke, the Hall of Famer. So the next couple cards are going to be hopefully grading submissions, and so what I'd like to do is a couple of them are dual graded for both autograph and condition. This is a 94 Upper Deck Alex Rodriguez. I think they don't like to technically call this a rookie card, even though it's from 94 Upper Deck. It's a higher number in the set, and he had another foil board one that I think they call technically his rookie, but it's from the same set. It's 94, it's Upper Deck, and this has a really beautiful bold 10 auto. It actually is you know, as far as authentication, it's got the Upper Deck hologram on there. I am missing the matching little card that goes with it, but no matter. I'm just gonna put this in here. I believe that this card could possibly get, you know, like PSA 9 Auto 10, maybe even a BGS 9.5 Auto 10. It looks really good to me. So we'll have to see. This other card as well was for auto grade, and really this maze, I was wanting to get this in a better holder, and to get the auto grade 10 from PSA. So I was going to submit that. This one I do actually have the card that goes with this one. It also is Upper Deck. I do love this card. I had a Willie Mays. This is one of the cards I actually upgraded to. I had another Willie Mays. It was one of those SSPC cards, I believe from like 75, but the auto on it wasn't that strong, wasn't that bold, and so I upgraded to this one. I love it. It's got its complete stats on the back, which are just absolutely bonkers. And then of course it has him depicted as a giant, as opposed to the Mets uni he was in that other one, which just didn't seem right. It just seemed a little bit wrong. Anyway, so this one as well. And then this is one also. This is a Donruss Signature 97 Donruss Signature Millennium Marks autograph, on-card auto for Greg Maddux. Really nice card, really tough set to get condition-wise, and I want to get this dual graded. It looks really, really good to me. It's for sure an auto 10, just as the other two I just showed, and you know, a little bit of a misnomer. Millennium Marks, you know, we think of Millennium being 1,000, and there are 1,000 of them usually, except that the serial numbers that go from 101 up to 1,100, and because the first 100 of the century mark, so you might see one over 1,000 and don't think it's an error, but that's, you know, just how they did them. Maddux though was a short print, and so he only did 400 of these, and so it's actually a bit more exclusive, quite a bit more exclusive than most other Millennium Marks. So I'm really pleased to get this relatively recent pickup of mine, and so yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. And one thing I've been toying around with in the back of my mind is my Grail card from last year, this 93 Finest Refractor, Greg Maddux. Oh boy, a beautiful Mint 9. Look at that shine. Man, if you've never held a 93 Finest Refractor in your hand before, like if you just haven't ever done that, you need to do that, because these cards, they're something else. They hit different. Anyway, absolutely love this card, and I wanted to actually get this reholdered into a newer, this is one of the older PSA flips, but I felt weird about mailing it off. But if I can just drop it off like at the booth or something, and I don't have to pay shipping, I just think that would be a better way to do that. And so I'm looking to do that. And as for the other cards that I have with me, this is sort of trade bait. And so this is sort of like I'm trying to bring things that are either they're duplicates, or they're cards that I feel like are not essential to my collection. And so yeah, a lot of these I've already listed on eBay, and so I'm going to take them with me, and we'll see if people are interested in these. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're going to be at like the YouTuber meetup on Thursday, I'm going to have these cards with me. So if you're interested in these, yeah. And so this is fascinating for me, because this is the first time I think on my channel I've ever really explicitly shown the number grades on cards. I've always covered them up with the stickers, and I went through and had to prepare all these, and I went and found reasonable comp values, and that's what I sort of tried to put on these stickers. I tried to put right around where eBay comp was. There are a couple exceptions to that, and I'll talk about those reasons as we go through what these are. But yeah, here we have a really cool Crash the Game, and here, let's put a little white background behind it, if you can see. It looks better if you have it's a clear acetate window. It's better if you hold it up to a light, and I don't really have a good light to shine right now, but it's a really beautiful insert from 96 Collector's Choice, and it's in a beautiful 9.5 grade. And so this is not an expensive card. This is a card you could buy for like, you know, $5 probably, and but it's really neat looking, and it's in an exceptionally high grade. And so yeah, this one did not really have a legit comp for this, and so I'm throwing out a number. But this is what we have here. We've got a Roger Clemens 92 Fleer Career Highlights. this is one of those cards, it actually has, if I can see it there, there's the Fleer, there we go. It's got an embossed stamp on there, which is really nice. And then I have a bunch of rookie cards that, well, I've upgraded since. I have a couple of Jeters in here because I have an SP now. And so when I was first starting to get back in, I did like the look of this 93 Select and an CSG9. And so this is one of those that, again, I don't know about like highest, and same with this. This is a duplicate. I have another one of these that is raw, actually, in my top loader binder. And I don't really need a PSA 9 of this. Some of these are selling for a little over 30, and some of them are selling for just about 20, so split the difference there. Same with this card. I have a lot of other Griffey rookies. I don't feel like I need to have this one, and I guess one of the things I'm looking for when I'm looking through some of this trade bait is I'm sort of having a bit of a debate myself. Here's a debate with myself. Here's another Jeter rookie from 93 Score. This was one I thought for a long time had to be a 10, so I sent this in, ended up cracking it, resending it. It's still a 9, and then I got my loop and checked out the corners, and sure enough, yeah, there's just enough on there that would prevent it from gemming. So I was humbled. And of course, recently just showed this Ichiro Topps rookie as well, which SGC 9, and yeah, this is a reasonable comp for what these are going for right now. And I was having a debate because a lot of the cards I'm looking for, and the debate I was having with, and there was a video about this. I believe Greg over at Midlife Cards had a question a few weeks back that talked about whether in our collection we focus on, whether we value iconic cards or rare, scarce cards more. And, you know, I think I, like a lot of people, sort of, well, kind of both, really. In fact, you almost can't have iconic cards that are scarce, with the exception of like the Honus Wagner T206. Most of the cards you think of iconic, like Griffey rookies and things like that, there's a ton of them out there. There's a reason why they're iconic. But the kind of stuff I'm looking for is going to be some of the rarer stuff, some of the harder to find stuff. Here's a cool 98 Bowman's Best Jeff Bagwell refractor, numbered out of 400. There we go. Here's a duplicate. I have another Maddox here. Same set, 98 Bowman's Best refractor. This is not the beautiful cracked ice atomic, but that thing is incredible. And also, numbered out of 400. There we are. Speaking of duplicates, this is a little bit different. This is an oddball. This is an oversized proof of the 96 Bowman's Best atomic previews refractor. And so beautiful speckle design. It looks about the same as any other one, except that you can see that it's got these little extra overage marks on the back corners. So it's a little oversized. I guess if you were really careful, you could cut out a regular card from that. So here we are. Then we've got a 2003 Bowman Chrome. This one is also a duplicate. In fact, every Maddox I've shown so far is a duplicate. Then we've got this one. This is cool. 98 Studio freeze frame insert. Randy Johnson. And now they had the, so these were cards that were numbered to 4,500, but the lowest serial numbers, only the lowest, I believe it was the first 250 or the first 500. I think I have on here first 500, and now I'm doubting myself, and now it might be actually 250. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go look it up, baseball Cardpedia. But a very small number of them were actually die cut, where you have the holes up here and the holes down here, and the cut in the top and the bottom. And so this is one of those really cool insert parallels, or parallel of an insert, which is really neat. This is a card I got back on my recent grading order. It's also a duplicate. I have one that I already have, just in a top loader, and I'm very happy with it. But I thought for sure this was a 10, and in fact, maybe I should take the loop to this one, but I'm not going to resubmit it. But it's really, really, really good. But it's a really rare 1 in 240 pack insert, and with 10 cards in the set, so true odds of 1 in 2,400. Pop 6, PSA 9, gorgeous card. Not many of them out there. This is a card, this is the one I'm looking for, but as a refractor, the die cut, the embossed. This is a regular gold embossed card, and a PSA 9. Now this card I don't actually have a duplicate of, but it just doesn't, I don't know. I'm more of a shiny guy, more of a refractor guy. It's a tough card. Pop 4 higher. And yeah, it's about I think it's 1 in 96 packs, I want to say, for just a gold embossed. But tough to get, tough to find. But yeah, I'd rather prioritize some bigger fish in my collection. This one I also got back from my grading reveal, and beautiful. This one's a little bit after the span of years I go for. I'm looking for, again, Maddox's playing days as a Brave. And so generally that cuts off 2003, 2004. Occasionally there's some Donruss stuff from 05 that does have it, or Leaf stuff I've seen. But yeah, this is 07. Orange refractor, numbered out of 25. This is the only copy that's been graded by PSA. It is a Pop 1, 0 higher. And so just a gorgeous card. I got a really good value on this. I bought it just because it was a price that I couldn't say no to. And it looked really good to me, so I sent it in, and sure enough, mint 9. All right, and this is a card, this is a beautiful 2000 SP Authentic SP Buyback Auto, numbered out of 70, Randy Johnson. And I just picked up, I had a video about the tale of two big units. And so I've already upgraded my Randy Johnson autograph, and I don't need this one anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass that along. I've got the matching Upper Deck hologram serial numbers to go along with it, so that's kind of a cool thing. But yeah, there are a couple of these listed on eBay, but they're listed for like $250 or something, really high. And anyway, I think this is a more reasonable price. And anyway, and not that any of these prices I have on here are, set in stone or anything. They're not. All right, and then we have, this is a Griffey Museum collection. This is also a duplicate. I have another one of these in my top loader binder, but I don't need two of them. And if I can get some value for this being a mint 9, fairly low pop. It's not really a tough insert card, but again, pretty tough true odds because it's a big set. So tough to get that one. And almost a very similar case. We have this last one here in this stack, this is 97 Stadium Club. This is the Matrix. This is one of those dot matrix foil, and just crazy shine on these. And this is in a SGC 9.5, which is particularly good. This insert set is really condition sensitive with the corners, particularly the back corners and back edges tend to be really tough to get, looking really sharp and good. But well, this is a fantastic Mint Plus copy, and again, this is also one where you just don't find much in the way of comps for something like this. So this is a higher number than most of these cards would ever go for, way higher than these cards raw would be, but because of that condition scarcity, yeah, it's on a good day, maybe this could be a PSA 10, who knows? I don't know. All right, so that goes through these cards. Now, I also have, again, this went back to sort of the difference in thinking and philosophy and approach that I was sort of having. I'm also considering bringing some other cards of mine that are, maybe some of them are iconic, and these are cards that I don't even want to get rid of in my collection. I'm not looking to move them. I'm not looking to sell them. I haven't listed these on eBay, but I feel like they are liquid. I feel like if I came up to a situation in the National where there is a card, if there is a 97 Essential Credentials in, I don't know, a PSA 7 that looks really good, and I'm a little short on cash, and a dealer would like to do would accept some kind of a cash trade deal, these are some cards I would consider throwing in with that if it were to get something bigger and better. And most of the cards in here, not all of them, but most of them in this particular stack, again, these are not ones these are in like my collection, and I don't really want to let them go, but for either the right price or for the acquisition of the right card, I can make an exception for those. And so part of why I was thinking about that whole thing about iconic, speaking of iconic, here's a beautiful Mariano Rivera. Bowman rookie. Looks like he's about 12 in this picture. This is the older BGS slab. I just showed this card a little bit ago. Really old Beckett slab. They tended to grade rather harshly. But again, you know, iconic cards, the good thing about iconic cards like this is that they're not that hard to find. I feel like most cards, even in this stack, this final stack here, are cards that I could replace at a future date if I needed to. Whereas a lot of the cards I'm looking for, I'm looking to acquire, that's not going to be the case for. And then we got a couple of these cool Bowman's Best Refractors. In fact, I had a little Bowman's Best Refractor run going for Ken Griffey Jr. Here's a 94, Bowman's Best Refractor in a PSA assigned 8. Just beautiful. And honestly, it's a perfect corners, perfect center. I think it's just a touch of hulking on there. And I've gone through my hulking theory video, which, yeah, that explains it just fine. And then we have the 96 Bowman's Best Refractor. I have the 95 as well, but that one's a little bit special to me. That's my very favorite one, and I don't even want to bring that. So, and this is the non-previews version. This is the one that's actually from the authentic set itself. And so it should command a bit of a premium. If it were a previews version, this card would be a, probably $25 card. But the fact that this is actually card number 71 in the set and not the BBP whatever, Bowman's Best Previews, yeah, this is way tougher true odds on pulling something like this. Same here, 97, Bowman's Best Refractor, Griffey. Again, near mint 8, all these are PSA 8s. I wouldn't really be able to afford much about the 9s and 10s probably, so forget that. And so, but again, we're looking at cards that are liquid, and Griffey's got a big market. So if I'm looking to add value, build value towards something, I have to think that a dealer wouldn't turn their, wouldn't turn their noses up at a stack of Griffey refractors from the 90s with him depicted as a Mariner. That just, you're gonna find a way to move those, I think. All right, speaking of cards I don't really want to get rid of, we have another Donruss signature. This time it's 98, not 97. And this one I actually toyed with the idea of submitting this to PSA as well. But anyway, just one of the most gorgeous autographs in the entire game. It has evolved over time a bit, but this was just, right as he was going, 98, just right as, stepping into his stride, his peak, and just the most beautiful, beautiful autograph, it's between him and Griffey, really, just the two prettiest autographs. And speaking of Griffey autos, we have this one. Again, not a card I'm looking to move anytime soon. I actually have 2 other Griffey autos already. I have another one that's very special to me. It's not on a 94 Hollowview Blue that I'm not, that's a forever keeper for me. And I also have a Griffey Diamond King from 90 Donruss. It's an older style autograph. And, I have plenty of other rookies, and I have just 2 other Griffey autographs. I don't want to get rid of this card, but again, if, I do have other Griffey autos, I do have other Griffey rookies, I could reacquire. This card is not rare. It's not hard to find these again. So if it meant that I could get into something exceedingly rare, hard to find, then yes, I will go ahead and apply this as a trade. Same with this one. This is a Charizard from 99 Pokemon. This is the hologram, hollow in the background. This is not the first edition. It is not the Shadowless that has a lighter color border on this side. It's the darker one, so this is called the Unlimited one. And this is in a VGEX4, and it has maybe the greatest eye appeal for a PSA 4 that you would ever be able to see. There are no scratches on the surface of this hologram, which is one of the biggest things you tend to see with these cards. You just don't have that. You also tend to see, if this is moderately played, you'll tend to see a lot of whitening on the edges, and you just don't see that with this copy. It's really clean. It's about the cleanest PSA 4. It presents like it's a PSA 8 or 9. I mean, really, it looks just beautiful. The reason why it got a 4 is, you really have to look closely at this. There is a little bend at the very top of the center of the card. And if you just get it in the very right light, I'm not sure if you can barely see that, just above that D in Charizard, there's a little wrinkle, but it doesn't not even a wrinkle, just a little bit of a bend there at the top. So if you really hunt for it, you can find the issue. But of all the other 4s out there, this one takes the cake as far as eye appeal is concerned. So again, there's no shortage of these cards out there. These are not that rare. You can find them. Again, I love this card. I showed this in the last video, talking about Iconic. There's no shortage of them out there. I could reacquire this if I really needed to. But I do love the sneaky good subgrades on this. And I wouldn't want to have to get one again. But, you know, call this a cash advance to myself if I needed, you know, to take out a couple hundred from my collection to just reacquire one down the line if there's an opportunity available. Again, I can't think it gets much more liquid than something like a Jeter SP rookie in a high grade. All right, now this is a card. This is not one that's easy to get again, but it turns out, well, again, this is a Gem Mint 10. This is one I submitted myself. And I just laugh about it because it's not a card, like I love the card. This is the kind of stuff I love. This is the most high pop professor card that I'm taking with me. And why am I bringing it? Well, because it's a 10. There's some value that I think I can extract in here. There in fact is a PSA 9 of this exact card listed on eBay for $350, or best offer. And a 10 actually was just listed and just sold for $425. That was the 10. And so, but again, there's a Pop 3, one of the other 2 just sold. But if the guy who bought it's not selling, it's like, well, good luck finding another one. So if I can get an actual, so this is the card that, like, there's no room for movement on this one. If you really want it, you're gonna have to pay it. But if you do, I'm probably going on and buying that 9, or offering maybe a little lower than $350 for it. But I wanted to replace that. Wanted to have a 9 in my collection. But again, if I can trade the 10 for a 9 and cash, that's my goal here. But that's basically the only reason I even have this. This is not a duplicate. So, but there's some good value here. So that's why I'm doing it. And then last but not least, this is a Derek Jeter, sort of a minor league card, 94 signature rookies. And there's a really famous one that this is not, that has like 8,700 signed copies. And you can get that relatively cheap. It's not, you can probably find it for about $200. What makes this one a little bit more special though is the fact that it's the mail-in promo. And so it's a little bit more exclusive. And I don't think all of those were even signed, but this one's a bit more special because it is, of course, in a Mint 9 Auto 10. And so, low pop, only 35 of them, only one higher out there. And the condition scarcity on top of this, beautiful 10 auto. And again, like I said, this is not a card I want to get rid of. I'm not looking to move this, and this is a little high of a price. I acknowledge that. But this is, again, what I'm looking to try to accomplish. If I can get something a little bit more obscure, a little bit rarer, someone just has a Adonis Crusade Red Maddox just sitting there. That was not, that was not on my target list. But if they have a price on it that they would like to trade a few of these cards for, that's something that would be relevant to my interests. So chances are I'm not going to end up, doing many trades or sales, or most of these probably are just going to be, sort of just in case things. But hey, like I said, I do have them. I'll have them with me if you are interested in these. And of course I realize I'm competing here with all of the other cards at the National. But hey, I would be perfectly happy, not getting rid of any of these. These are some of my favorite, collection cards. But again, they're ones that have good value and ones that I either could upgrade or could reacquire if the need presented itself. All right. So aside from that, and aside from some cash and some good walking shoes and water and snacks and all that kind of stuff, what else should I be bringing here? Is there anything else I'm missing? Should I bring my grader's loop, my jeweler's loop? Should I bring, I don't know. Probably going to bring a few other supplies, a few, top loaders and penny sleeves and things like that. But yeah, again, it's my first time going. I'm pumped. And I know I had a discussion with Iconic Al. But yeah, if there's anything else that you would recommend. It's funny. I just got finished watching, Double D Vintage and Adam from Splendid Sports. their Turn Back the Clock episode, where apparently Adam tried something like this to bring some of these nicer cards, and a lot of the dealers just they didn't want to do trades. They just wanted cash. Hey, more power to them. But yeah, so maybe it's a situation where cash is king, and none of this will be any good. I don't know. Okay, well, all right. So anyway, thanks for watching.